It's always good to see you, Tommy. Best book collection I've ever seen in my whole life, except for Talking Blues. So this one's by Kyle Richdig. I've never read it before. We're going to see how good it is. It starts off with she curves, brought in from the north shore and meandering through the land. She travels from giant to giant, collecting and cleansing the rocky shore. She connects from those bound to beauty. In the chill of the deep, she offers protection for the northern peoples from manifest destiny. Uh-oh. We forget her majesty as we careen by, not noticing, losing those days when a tossed stone could glide into infinity, and she would cradle our park as the fireworks burst into blooms of light. Don't worry, it's almost over. I remember her majesty as I stood by, searching for turtles, and later myself as I peered into her dark waters, always waiting for the epiphany that only came once I migrated away. It's actually called St. Mary's.
I think it's about a boat.
No clue what it's about.
I think it's about a boat. I think it's about a boat called the St. Mary's.
That would make sense. There's a lot of fun things in it, for sure. Okay. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. I like that a lot of the stuff in the Great Lakes Review is about each person writing about their own town, sort of like a little key to how cool their town is and stuff. And I like that Aaron wrote about the Vault, which is my favorite place here in Buffalo, to either do a poetry reading or to have a DIY show. I want to thank Jeffrey for helping me on this book and for putting a lot of work into it and for liking it and championing it. It is a book of love poems. They each start with a little image of a dictionary illustration. It's going to be a sort of mechanicals dictionary to my inability to have a working relationship. So this one's called Escapement. It says, the part in a mechanical clock that controls the speed and regularity of the balance wheel or pendulum, and thereby the entire mechanism of my retarded affection, when I always thought it didn't need any regulating. It does. Hasp, a hinged metal fastening that fits over a staple and is held in place by a pin, padlock, or short comment. It's either about me or about them. Not really sure. It's probably about me. If it's a really despairing one, it's about me. This one's called Insulator. It says, in order to prevent the passage or leakage of electricity, heat, sound, concern, shame, surprise, kisses, or the wrong idea. I think that poem's about the fact that no girl will ever give you the wrong idea on purpose. This one's called Capstan. It's this little, it's a thing for a boat where ropes go around it and probably keep it anchored to shore. It says, I understand you completely when I see you in front of me. And that's just a breakup poem about people not making sense to each other until you see them face to face. And then they make sense. So it's not really a breakup poem, except it's about having been broken up already.
I think it's a Great Lakes novel.
That's right. It should go in the review.
I think it's a companion piece of St. Mary.
Exactly. All these poems need parenthetical expressions at the bottom where I continue the poem and explain it.
You wrote a book like that once.
This one's called Ratchet Wheel. It says, so you can calm down. This is about myself, not speaking to somebody else. So you can calm down and let days come without slipping back. I think I had the line into old resentments after that, but it's not there anymore. This one's called Winch. It says, turned by a crank, me, used to pull myself along. When I forget to tell her I think the things she does are the greatest because I forget sometimes to say it all the time. This one's called X-ray tube. It's an evacuated tube containing a metal target bombarded by electrons that subsequently emits an X-ray when she feels like she's slipping through people. That one. It's an old one. I wrote that one about 8 years ago when I was delivering pizzas at Just Pizza. Just right there next door.
Oh yeah.
This one's called Sprockets. It says, teeth on the rim of a wheel arranged to create wild superstitions. Like we shouldn't go to the movies because we always get in a fight. That used to happen to me. Doesn't happen to me anymore. This one's called Buoy, another nautical one. The Great Lakes boat review. Anchored to mark the way away from navigational hazards, like being too huggy too early. You're not even dating yet. This one's called Disc Brakes. It says, I saw you drive by. You didn't see me. You or me are ghosts to haunt how we used to feel. And that's just a real poem about a real situation where I saw an ex-girlfriend drive by. Wouldn't call them an ex if you're newly broken up. Wouldn't call them an ex if you're newly broken up. This one's called Forge, and it has this neat forge-like apparatus. And it says, forge new neural pathways and bold old traditions. Fall in love again, and remember you at the end. This one's called Gyroscope. Spins rapidly about an axis so that the entire apparatus offers considerable opposition to any dork that would change direction. That's about me questioning wildly about whether or not I should be in and out of this relationship. It doesn't say that underneath this. None of these poems are about you. Except for this one. Toggle joint. It's an offsetting machine that pushes when it is pushed and pulls when it is pulled, which makes her feel like between everything, there isn't time to recharge. This one's called Shotgun. It says, covering a wide area in an irregularly effective manner, like compliments at the girl you like, haphazard and indifferent to specific results. That's just a poem about me making fun of myself for liking a girl. There might be a few of those in here. This one's called Springs. It's an elastic device that regains its shape after being compressed so that even a love can exist. This one's called Butt Joint. It's actually a piece of wood with a screwed in piece of wood at a perpendicular angle. It looks like this. Here. Never heard of one before.
Yeah, I saw one of those in Chicago.
Did you smoke it? A joint made by fastening the parts together end to end without overlap, and nothing at all like two slimy snails doing it. This is a poem about being in the middle of a fight during a relationship, and it's called Blast Furnace. This is under pressure, my brain buzzes. I can no longer think. Please let me think. All I can do is buzz and think the same thing. That might be a little bit too much information. I think you guys need to know that. This one's called Shore. It a beam or timber used as a brace. When I forget, it's us both against a shit situation. And actually, I got that advice from Robert Kochik. Not my favorite poet because that's Aaron, but definitely the best poet I know. Robert Kochik is impressive. And I was talking to him about some things, and he explained to me that the importance of relationships is to realize that it's actually you both against a shit situation. This is a micrometer. It's for measuring how close I am from going from charming to completely annoying. It's not that
I
big
think
of a
you need
distance.
a hug.
Thank you.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, it's strange. It can be charming and very annoying. This one's called electromagnet. It says converts electric current into movements, like my hands habitually on you. This one's called jack. It's like a car jack. No amount of frustration can account for my not acting admirably. This one's called a universal joint. It says, it doesn't start with a definition, but it just says basically, good luck, I'm the most hurt dude ever. But that one's a little playful. I like that. Okay, this is a samovar, which is that Russian tea-making monstrosity that looks like a big coal furnace. It says, now that I've lost you, I am inaccessible to knowledge and incapable of being comprehended. Unfathomable. That happens to me. It's almost over. This one's an orrery. I think that's how you pronounce that word. I could put a few more R's in there if you'd like. An orrery. So it's basically got the sun and the earth and moon and Mercury and Venus, but not Mars. It's a mechanical model moved by wheelwork, which illustrates my position in an argument at all times. And that's just a poem I say to myself in order to try not to make a point at all times in the middle of a relationship and try not to always be right. This one's called Potter's Wheel. So it's got basically an image of a piece of clay being sculpted. It says, I may become who you want, but I am not like that now. And this is the last poem of the book. It's a chalk. It says, for cables or stays that keep me from asking bad favors, like to please kiss me on the cheek when meeting.